Hello and welcome to today's CINC Cash Offer webinar. My name is Kayla Priest and I'm on the CINC Live Events team here today to share some tips and tricks and also to explain just what even is our newest lead generation offering, CINC Cash Offer Leads. So let's talk about exactly what CINC Cash Offer is and what you can expect when you start to receive these leads. So essentially a cash offer lead is going to be a seller lead who is shown an ad asking if they were interested in getting a cash offer on their home. Now, as you know, cash offer programs have been really growing in popularity over the past several years, but they've always been around, whether that was with investors or just putting it on the market and getting a cash offer as one of your regular offers. But this specifically is targeting people who are interested now in potentially selling their house for cash. So what are the reasons people are interested in receiving a cash offer on their home? Either they need to move really quickly and they are afraid that putting it on the market might prolong the selling process. Maybe they have some things in the home that they know need to be fixed before they sell, but they don't have the opportunity to do that, or they don't have the desire to do that. So they think we'll sell it as is for cash. Or of course, it could just be that they want to get as much money as possible, as quickly as possible. We don't really know their reasoning for wanting the cash offer. That's going to be your job as the agent working the lead to figure out why they were interested in this cash offer to begin with. So essentially, we are generating leads who are interested in selling their house. Now, does that mean that they are going to always go forward and engage in a cash offer? No, they could decide to go ahead and list traditionally with you. That's our hope. They could decide that going the cash offer route is great for them at that time. And at that point, you can assist with that offer. And we'll get into the details of that a little later. Or maybe they'll decide that, you know, we wanted to see the cash offer. We were interested in how much it would be. And now we've decided just to wait or think about it. So there's lots of different outcomes, but this is essentially the opportunity to drive high quality seller leads to your database. So essentially, when you sign up for the cash offer program, you share the market areas that you want to receive seller leads in, and then we will show the ad to those potential leads. And then they are sent to answer a 16-question form that's going to provide you with all the information that you need to actually provide a cash offer. Now, a question that I typically get at this point is, how do I get the cash offer? Does that come from me? Does that come from someone else? How does that work? And so there are a couple different options that you have, and we're going to get into those later. But above all else, we're calling these leads quickly, and we're getting them on the phone, and we're asking them to set an appointment. And we're going to talk scripting as well in a little later in the webinar. I promise all these things that I say we'll get to later, we will. But we're going to be asking lots of questions as well about why is now the right time to sell? Why are they interested in a cash offer? What are they hoping to achieve? Of course, too, when we're asking to set the appointment, we're going to go in depth in a full listing appointment with them, provide them the cash offer, but also let them know all of their options, right? You can either get the cash offer or you can list with me. Let's talk about which one is going to be the right path for you. So let's go ahead, and I think it makes sense now for us to go ahead and look at what the cash offer lead sees when they click on the ad. So I'm going to quickly open this landing page on a site. Now, even if you're not currently generating cash offer leads with CINC, you actually already have this landing page on your site. So you could generate your own cash offer leads and direct them to this page. And so the URL is just your site's URL. In this case, I'm on a kind of testing training site. So in this case, it's cincprotraining.com, but you'd insert your own URL /seller/cash offer. And when leads hit this page, this is when we're going to start asking them for some information so you can actually get the cash offer. They can start to compare their options and then decide which is best for them. So this is actually a newly designed page that went through a lot of beta testing. So this lead type was beta tested before we opened it up to everyone. And so these questions and these pages have been designed to make it really easy and fast for the lead to go and answer all of these questions, giving you, the agent, as much information as possible. So let's go ahead and enter a home address. And I'm going to do one that I know happens to be a little bit down the street for me, a couple neighborhoods down. So I know that this is a real address, but this is not my address. We're just doing a little test here. And so then we're going to look for property information. Now this, we're letting them know is pulled from tax records and if it's ever been listed on the MLS, but they can actually come in and edit the address, or they can change any of this information if they know that it happens to be incorrect. I know for me, when I put information in like this on my own home, the bedrooms and the bathrooms count is often off. So I have to change it whenever I'm doing this for my own address. But if I know that this information is correct, I can move on. Now you'll notice that the photo is going to change behind all of this. Again, really making it eye-catching and easy for the lead to move through, but we're asking them a different set of questions each time. In this case, we are asking for their contact information. I'm going to put in a little test email address. And then we'll put in the CINC phone number here. Now from here, if the lead gets this next question that we're going to ask and they say to themselves, I really don't want to go through all of this, you still get the lead. So once they put in their information and they move on, if they bounce at any point from here on out, you still have received that lead. You just won't have all the answers to these questions because they opted out of them. So we're going to ask if they are the homeowner. Now, reasons that a lead could say no is maybe they're generating this offer on behalf of parents who are looking to downsize, friends that they're helping. There are many reasons that they could say no in that case. We're going to ask how many floors the home has, if it has a basement, if it has a garage, carport, or neither. Is it part of a homeowners association? Now, actually, I'll pause right here. These questions cannot be changed. That's a question that I get a lot, and I'll tell you why. So these questions actually correspond to one of the sources where you can get cash offers from, and that is Open Door. And so if you are not in an area that uses Open Door, in other words, they're not in your market, or you've partnered with another iBuyer program, or perhaps you prefer to work directly one-on-one with investors, you can still generate leads with the cash offer program, or of course you can generate your own cash offer leads as well. But we did use Open Door as the model for these questions. And so in other words, when the lead answers these, you're able to take all of this information and put it into Open Door to generate the cash offer. So you are not having to generate the cash offer yourself, unless, of course, like I mentioned, you prefer to invest yourself, or you prefer to work one-on-one with investors who you maybe want to advise on the best cash offer that they could offer to the homeowner. But you can also choose to partner with an iBuyer. And if you do partner with Open Door, then this corresponds directly to the questions that are asked on the Open Door side of things. So I just wanted to make sure I covered that before we get any deeper. So is it in an age restricted or gated community? Nope. Does it have any of the following? And so this is all, again, helpful in generating that cash offer. Are there things that are going to need to be fixed, or is there anything in the home that affects the value? Does it have solar panels? What kind of countertops? Are the common areas, living, dining, hallways, foyers, all painted in neutral colors? What is the condition of the paint? Are you working with a home builder? Is it already listed with an agent? And then what is your desired sales time? Now, remember, people can always fib a little bit on this, and really they want to sell quickly, but they might say they're just browsing because they're afraid to dip their toe a little bit more in the water. And then we're going to say, how much do you think your home is worth today? And I'm going to say, I think it's worth $220. Reason for selling the home. And then we're saying thank you, and we appreciate you telling us about your home. We'll contact you within 48 hours with a cash offer for the address. Now you'll notice that this is actually branded. This would be your logo that's currently on your site, as well as letting them know that they can check out your website. So we're setting the expectation that you are going to reach out quickly with that cash offer. Now, from the agents that I have spoken with that are already utilizing the CINC cash offer lead program, they are not even calling, or excuse me, they're not even putting this information into an iBuyer or talking to an investor first. They're calling to set the appointment. So we are going to set the appointment, call as quickly as we can, dig a little deeper into why they're thinking about selling, kind of let them know the next steps in the process. And then we're preparing the information to take with us to the listing appointment that we set. And part of that information would be the cash offer. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at our leads dashboard here. Here is that lead. You'll notice I came in 5 minutes ago. And so even though I just finished answering those questions, I already became a lead even after, or excuse me, even before I finished answering those questions. So if I had skipped those questions, then of course I would still be a lead here in the system. So I'm just going to do a refresh of my screen just in case, and show you a couple of things. So you'll notice in the registered column, it's very easy to tell that this is a cash offer lead because it is sourced as cash offer. In addition to that, you'll notice that there are 2 labels that have been automatically applied. We have one that this is a cash offer lead, so we could filter by this label to find cash offer leads. And then also cash offer complete, so we can filter separately for leads that went through the whole answering process on that form. Other information that we have here is the city where my home is located. And if I click on this little house icon, we can see the address. This is where we can also add subscriptions to our home value emails. So they would automatically get an email once a month. Now, I do, out of the corner of my eye, see a question if this is available in Canada. It's not quite available in Canada yet because we are working through some regulatory questions and discovery there, but it doesn't mean it will not ever be available in Canada. So if you're interested and you are located in Canada, reach out to your account manager or to CINC support, and they will actually connect you to our product team who's working on this Canadian version, and you may be able to be one of our beta testers. So good question. Thank you for asking it. So if I click on the lead's name here, you'll notice that I have a couple of automatic notes that have been added. And here is the one that I think everyone would be most interested in, all the information that I provided when I signed up. So all the answers to those questions. And then of course that a new lead has registered and that the answers will be added. So from here, we can give this lead a call and we can, again, attempt to set the appointment with them. So let's go ahead and look now at the other side of things. We've looked at what it looks like for the lead now, and then what you see in your dashboard. So now let's talk about, as an agent, what you can do to have better success with these cash offer leads. So I've already mentioned that we have to call quickly to set the appointment. Time is of the essence. If you think about it, and I'll just kind of talk in terms of holiday gifts. Right now, you may be online trying to buy early because you want to make sure that your holiday gifts are going to arrive, that you're buying online in time to gift for this holiday season. So let's say you know that your children want a certain kind of new toy. And so you Google that to see where you can get the best price. You might notice then on your next several sites that you visit online, that you have some ads on the side of your screen for that toy for other sources. And that is simply the nature of the beast of existing on the internet right now. Once we look at something in one place, our browser notices that that's what we're interested in, and we may start to be targeted with similar services or products from other sources. That is going to happen when your lead clicks on this cash offer ad. All of a sudden, their browser is going to know that they are potentially interested in selling their home. They're potentially interested in a cash offer. They're going to know that they're thinking about moving. And all of a sudden, they're going to start to see additional ads from your competition, quite frankly. So it's really important that we call super quickly and we get them on the phone as fast as we can, because as they continue to move about the internet, they're going to start to get targeted with other ads. And I want you to be the one that connects and gets that listing, whether it's through the cash offer or a traditional listing. It's also important that if we do call quickly that first time and they don't answer, it's okay to leave a voicemail in this case, but we have to follow up. We have to follow up and be persistent about it, calling until we get them to answer. It's also important that when they do answer, that we use the right script. And so let's talk about what this opening line looks like, because this is going to be a little different than our traditional buyer or seller opening line. Because we know that they were interested in a cash offer, we need to let them know that that is why we're calling and immediately try to set the appointment. So the opening line, and I'll read it first a little slowly, and then we'll talk about the right tonality for this opening line. So the first thing we're going to say is, hi, this is your first name. So I would say, hi, this is Kayla. We received your request for a cash offer on your property. So we're letting them know we received your request for a cash offer, and then that's going to ding in their head. Yeah, I did fill that out. So we're letting them know the next step. So the next step is to visit and take current photos. So if you are working with an iBuyer, or even if you're working with an investor, you're really not going to be able to give an accurate valuation or estimate until you've seen the property and you're able to take current photos. And then we're asking, would tomorrow or this weekend work better for you? So we're giving them some options. Now, if this is Friday we're calling, we maybe wouldn't say, would tomorrow or the weekend work better for you? Because that doesn't really make sense. So we might say, would today or this weekend work for you? Or would the weekend or Monday work best for you? But we're really wanting to get out there in the first 48 to 72 hours. The faster, the better. So let's go ahead and talk about the tonality for this. It's all about being excited and sounding friendly, and like you really want to make sure that we're helping them as fast as we can. So we're going to say, hi, this is Kayla. We received your request for a cash offer on your property. The next step is to visit and take current photos. Would tomorrow or this weekend work better for you? And it's all about projecting that enthusiasm and that interest in helping them with the process. So notice that we didn't say we received a request for a cash offer on your home, because the word home can be pretty emotional for people. So we use the word property, and we're letting them know that we have to visit and take current photos. And then again, would tomorrow or this weekend work better for you? Now, for most of the agents that I've spoken to, this works right away. And the person says, yes, tomorrow would be great, or yeah, this weekend would be better. However, if you do run into someone who's giving you some objections, this is really the only objections that we have encountered. And like I said, they're not being given very often. So the first objection would be, can you just email me the offer? And this is when we have to explain to them the part of the process of, for it to be accurate, we just have to get out and actually see the property and see the certain features and upgrades and changes that you've made for it to be accurate. So that's going to be, you know, I wish I could, but to make sure that the offer is as accurate as possible, I really need to get out there and see the upgrades and additions that you've made over the years and take some photos for the offer. How does that sound? Or does that make sense? So we're just setting the expectation that we really have to come out. And the same thing goes for number 2. Before we meet, just how much is the offer going to be? Oh, I wish I knew right now, but just going by what's online, we often find that there's a discrepancy because we don't actually see the condition and the upgrades and the changes that you've made to the home over the years. How does that sound? Does that make sense? And then I'm not ready to meet yet is really just a, oh, okay, I'm curious, why is that? And maybe it's because they thought that the offer would be right away. And then again, we get to set the expectation of why we need to come out. Maybe it could be, well, the house is really not in any condition to sell yet. And then you can say, well, I'm actually able to give you, my expert opinion on what needs to be done for you to get, top dollar or sell as quickly as you want. Speaking of, that's another great follow-up for I'm not ready to meet yet. You can say, okay, well, let me ask you, what's your overall goal? Is it to sell quickly, get as much money as possible? What are you, why were you interested in the cash offer in the first place? And let them open up and tell you, why they're interested. And then you'll be able to better meet that objection. But we're always trying to circle back around to, we really need to get out and see the home. Once you set that appointment, you may be wondering what you need to bring to that first meeting, what to prepare, what should you cover. And this is really as simple as being a typical listing appointment. We are going to give them all of their options. The only addition is that cash offer. And again, whether that is with Open Door, whether that is with another iBuyer, whether that's with an investor that you work with. And then I've actually spoken to several teams that really aren't in a market with a lot of iBuyers, and they actually are their own investors. Their agents are investors. So whatever route you decide to go to give them that cash offer, you're just coming along with that. And we're not leading with that. We're sitting down and we're having a typical listing appointment where we're asking what their goals are. What are they, why is right now the right time to think about selling? Is it that they need to, downsize? Is it that they need to upgrade? Is it a relocation for work? Is it retirement? Is it that they need to have, an influx of cash right now because they have something unexpected that's popped up? We're asking all those questions and digging deep into figuring out exactly why they decided that now was the time to consider selling, and further on, why were they interested in the cash offer? Letting them know that what the process of listing with you would look like, how much money they could potentially net, how long the process might potentially take, and then also here's your other option for the cash offer. And letting them know that you are there to advise them on whatever would be best for them. You really have to be, open and not push them towards one direction or the other. You are really there to advise them on the process. So with that, I want to open it up for any questions. I see, and this webinar that I'm plugging on this screen here was actually yesterday, so my apologies. So if you do want more information, you can visit go.cincpro.com/cinc-cash-offer. This is where you can get more of the fine details about the program, and also sign up for more information, or to go ahead and sign up saying that you want to go ahead and start participating and generating the cash offer leads. I also see a question about where the recording of this webinar will be, and that will be up at cinccommunity.com/recordings with an S at the end. So cinccommunity.com/recordings. So any questions at all, please put them in the chat. I will go ahead and pull up really quickly our cash offer landing page that I just shared with you. So here's that page, go.cincpro.com/cinc-cash-offer. So we can see that these are a little bit higher cost per lead because they are a little bit more motivated, a little bit more ready to go. So this, we've seen it vary by market, but it's ranged from about $125 to $250 each. And because of that, there is a minimum required spend of $1,000 monthly. So you can spend more than that, but there is kind of like a minimum buy-in for this product, and that is $1,000 monthly. There is no contract or minimum time commitment though, just like any other CINC ad products like your Google or Facebook buyers and sellers. It's just a monthly commitment. You can pause at the end of any month and decide not to move forward with it for any additional months. So essentially, for the requirements to join, you do have to have some sort of cash offer options. In other words, an iBuyer or any investors that you work with. So you just need to make sure that you have those options ready to go. Now, I also want to point out there's a really great help article in the Help Center, and I'll go ahead and put this in the chat if you were with me live right now. And so this is where you can get a little bit more information as well. What I specifically want to show you here is maybe not this, bear with me one moment. All right, I think I'll have to have this one this page edited, but there are some markets that we currently partner with Open Door in. So you can actually partner with Open Door from the get-go in these certain markets. And so I'm gonna have to get those pulled up and added here. So make sure you check out this page here in just a moment. As soon as we wrap up the webinar, I'm going to have them make sure that we split these links up to make those work. Because if you're not in one of those markets, it does not mean that you cannot work with Open Door or another iBuyer. But the process of starting to work with Open Door will look a little different if you're in one of those markets versus if you're not. So my apologies that I don't have those markets here to show you. All right, it looks like we do not have any other questions. So I will say thank you so much for joining me. Remember that this will be located, or the recording of this webinar will be located at cincommunity.com/recordings. And if there's any questions that you have at all in the meantime, please reach out to your CINC account manager or to CINC support. Either one will be able to give you the information you're looking for. And I really hope that you find a lot of success working with these cash offer leads, and best of luck. Anything we can do to help, please reach out and join us for our other training webinars. You can find all that information at cincommunity.com. So thank you again. Have a great rest of the day, a great end of the week, and we'll see you next time.